In part 1, we revisited Ben M's story. He's the only boy in a big Hispanic family who met a fox on the way to school and woke up with a donkey tail. He told us about law school, a lost license, a psych ward twice in 1 week, and a single glass of wine on a flight to San Francisco that undid 3.5 years. But Ben kept coming back. And now, over 6 years sober, he's sitting down with us again. Wait until you hear what happened when his sponsor finally said, "Sweetie, I don't know what else I can tell you." And Ben sat with that discomfort until the fever broke. He prayed for ways to be useful, and 3 men asked him to sponsor them, one after another. He talks about seeing the world with new eyes, about promises that actually started coming true, and about a listener named Ryan who commented, "He's why I stay sober and I keep coming back." Plus, Julie finally got him his shirt and the breakfast casserole at the Sausage Fest. This is episode 127, and it starts right now.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Recovery Podcast. I'm Julie, your co-host, on this journey of healing and transformation. Together with my co-host, Peter, we dive into the heart of recovery, sharing stories that resonate with courage and inspiration.
That's right, Julie. Each episode is a new chapter in this vast narrative of recovery, and we're honored to bring them to you. But keep in mind, the perspectives you'll hear are for informational purposes only and may not reflect the views of the podcast or our partners.
Indeed, while these conversations can be a powerful part of your recovery toolkit, they are not substitute for professional medical advice. We encourage you to seek guidance from your healthcare provider for any treatment-related decisions.
And if you're facing an immediate crisis, or if you just need to talk to someone who understands, don't hesitate to call the Recovery Crisis Line at 503-223-8569. The number is also on our website. Help is available 24/7.
Now let's begin our episode
Of recovery, real recovery.
All right.
So
I'll answer your
excited.
questions.
Welcome to the Real Recovery Podcast. This is Julie.
This is Peter. Hello, everyone out there in listener land.
And we're here with Ben, who did our podcast in the beginning, before we even had shirts, my man.
Yeah.
And I got you your shirt last week. And I always tell you this, and I know you think I'm a little full of shit sometimes, but you really have one of the most popular podcasts we've ever had.
Yes. Yeah.
That is
It came
unbelievable
out-
to me.
It came out right before my birthday, April 11th, 2024, episode 7, and it was always in the top 5, if not sometimes
Episode
at the
7.
very top.
Do you know how many episodes we've done now?
Over 100. I know that because I heard your 100th
We have over
episode.
126, 28 miracles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I call them miracles because frickin' A, they're miracles.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you were only 3.5, only I say, years sober, right? And
I
now
guess
you
so, yeah.
are...
I am over 6 years sober.
Yay!
now. Yeah.
That's
my
awesome.
Sobriety date is still Cinco de Mayo 2020.
That is
I love
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo. I love that.
And everyone's like, yeah, like, how did you manage to stay sober during the pandemic? And my answer is always because I was done. Because I was already at death's door in May of 2020. I was not going to make it, and I was aware of that.
Yeah, I think a lot of our listeners that have come later, are they scrolling back to hear your episode? But then I posted your picture with your shirt because I was so pleased. No, and the first thing is this guy posts and he's like, "He's why I stay sober and I keep coming back." And I'm like in tears, okay, over the comment. I just want you to know. I was like, his name is Ryan. Yeah, for real. And I was like so touched. I'm just happy I got you your shirt, right? And no, I have 3 shirts. I finally got Kiki her shirt, and she does our podcast in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And I got Brian R. from Hillsborough. He's on our meeting a lot. I got to get him his, and Jerry B. Those are like the next 2 on my mission to get these shirts to people I owe. So we were at the meeting last week, and I wanted to bring up what you said because it exactly goes with how long since you've been on the show. And I forget what the subject of that meeting was, okay? But you said, I called my sponsor, and he said, I don't know what I can do for you. We've already worked the steps twice. At some point in time, you have to get past this. And you said you prayed. You gave up on working it, and it just became what it is. And I actually remember the phone call to me, and I'm like starting a new job, right? And I'm like, I don't know, Ben, I can meet with you. I can see you when I can see you. And when you said that last week, and you said it's been working for you now for over 2 years, which is almost the timeline, right? That change, I saw it when you said it. I saw this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do know what you mean. It's incredible. I think I know exactly what you're talking about, my share 2 weeks ago. And I'm not sure if I'm going to explain it any better than I did then, because I didn't think I did a very good job.
No,
of it.
you did.
But
Trust me.
I feel so, as somebody who was a chronic relapser for such a long time, and my genuine feeling is if I can stay sober, anybody can stay sober, because I have had bouts with insanity. I have had bouts with severe depression, poor me syndrome. I don't believe in God. I have taken every reason out of the reasons why this shouldn't work for me and argued this is why it's never going to work for me over and over. And I really did fight this program for such a long time because I wasn't ready to have a spiritual solution in my life.
When you were on, you said, nobody knows the situation on God. That was your quote.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nobody does. And that's just something I hold true to. And that's something that now, instead of allowing that to scare me, I allow it to mystify me in a really humbling way of, no, I don't know why we're all here. Like, how is there something out of nothing? Obviously, something is at the root and cause of all of this, and it's amazing. But the fever breaking thing is what I said. I said at a certain point, like when I was having those discussions with my sponsor, where my sponsor was like, sweetie, I don't know what else I can tell you at this point. I don't know if there's anything that I can do to help you. I think you may need to start looking for a new sponsor. It was where like a fever, you only get better from a really hardcore sickness once the fever breaks. And that's what happened with me. The fever, the desire to just lash out and say, I can't do this, I can't do this. I just sat with that emotion so long to where I finally broke through it and said, you know what? I'm so tired. I am so ready to start listening again. And it's what people have always described to me along the way of there's layers to this. And the longer you stay sober one day at a time, the more willing you become to continue this journey of, you know what, I feel really uncomfortable, but I'm not going to pick up today. I am just going to, one step at a time, get through the things I need to get through today, what's right in front of me, call my sponsor, go to a meeting, read the daily reflection, and then go to bed. Eat dinner and just go to bed.
Like,
and eventually something changes inside of us.
It is. And it's a spiritual awakening. It doesn't mean God comes down and you see a fucking light and bullshit like that, right? But for me, I was selfish, resentful as hell that I ended up in prison and that you took my money and I went to prison. Then I had to pay taxes on it. Are you fucking kidding me? To avoid racketeering charges? Like, for real? So I was like, okay, and just to get off parole. And I don't know when. Okay, I don't know when exactly, but it was the same for me. At some point in time, it just changed. At 6 months, I decided to stay when I got off parole because I was scared I'd fuck up. No, literally scared to death. And then truly, I don't know when, but somewhere around the 3rd year, I didn't have the urge to use anymore. And then it took even longer for me, but I was out to lunch with this lady and we'd taken this newcomer to lunch with us, which I would have never invited. She did. This bitch was crazy.
Okay.
And I realized when the lady was talking, how lucky am I, right? And I just had this like, wow, this has been working for me for a long time. How lucky am I not to be this lady who couldn't visit her child? She couldn't go. She had a lot of restrictions on her, and she never came back to the meeting after that day.
Yeah.
Right? And so it was like, poof, that day that, oh my God, that could have been me. And I have my child. She's never seen me high, right? It was an awakening like no other. I felt
Right.
so blessed that day, and I still don't know why I get to stay sober. But I was talking to this girl last night. I'll keep her anonymity because she's new. But she was like, I don't know what my path is like in life. She was celebrating 6 months. And I don't know this and that. And I said, you don't know. Just keep showing up and it'll work itself out. Just keep showing up and it'll work itself out. I said, life is going to be here. It's going to be down here.
Yeah.
It's going to be overwhelming. Just keep showing up and it'll work out. I promise. And I think that's a true testament to what you were saying.
Yeah. And also, for me, going in tandem with the spiritual awakening that's happening with me is a genuine, very sincere. For me, it feels like it's the rocketed into the fourth dimension. It's a completely
Page 25 of the big book.
It feels like I'm seeing the world with new eyes. I'm thinking with a new brain when suddenly I realize even when I am scared, even when I am challenged, and even when I do sincerely want to just run away, fear, fuck everything and run, I now have this newfound look on things where it's like, I don't even want to drink because I am now of the understanding that's not a solution to my problem. It's a solution that doesn't work anymore. It's not going to make the scary situation go away. It's not going to get me in a better place. It's only going to make everything worse. And that really core understanding of this is my relationship with alcohol now. It's never going to make anything better. It's always going to make everything worse.
Absolutely.
And drugs. And it's all an illusion in my head, the thought that, it's going to make things better. Never. Well, it has not done that in such a long time.
No, and
It's
all it does is
complete
blow
fantasy.
everything up, right? When you really think about
Yeah.
it just blows up your life, right?
Oh God, and I don't want to all the memories. I'm just so grateful for that because I don't want to let go of this feeling. I don't want to let go of this newfound sense of the world.
And you don't have to.
It's so valuable.
You just
Yeah.
gotta stay. There's challenges no matter what. I've been through so many more in sobriety than when I was using, literally more. And when I've been going through tough times and different challenges, I'll tell myself, what can you do today? Guess what? I can get up and read the daily reflection. I can take a moment to make an affirmation. And sometimes that will be for the day, I'm going to eat healthy or I'm going to exercise, even if it's for 1 minute. I have to keep it so simple that my brain, you know what I mean, and not overthink it, because I
Right.
can overthink it in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the spiritual thing, I thought of this on the way over here. A very real example of, I just don't question. I just try not to question things. I just try to. It's part of. It's like exercising. My energy that I send out, the signals that I send out into the universe, it's something that takes me in a certain direction because of the fact, I don't know, I sound like it's all hocus pocus, like manifesting and stuff, but it's not. I get up and I pray and I just ask for the right guidance and the right direction to be useful and productive and helpful. And please remove from me as much as possible the self-obsession. And these past couple months, I realized that I have been stepping more into a social circles than I used to, because for a while there, especially through the pandemic, I was a hermit, and that had become part of my devotion to sobriety. Was like, I just need to protect myself. I'm not going to bars. I'm not going to this. I'm not going to that. I'm just going to just militantly protect myself in ways I hadn't before. So the last couple of years, I've been actually opening up more to going out and doing things. And there's a lot happening in Portland, especially in the summer. And I felt like these last couple of months, okay, I'm going to take a step back from that. I'd really like to start focusing on my program. I'd really like to start going to different meetings, meeting new people in the program. And I really prayed about that quite a bit. And 1 week after another, people started asking me to sponsor them. It was incredible. I had not had anybody ask me to sponsor that. I was going through a really long, dry spell. And it's like suddenly I'm praying and I'm asking for ways to be useful and helpful. And that is what I'm doing every single day. I'm asking the universe for, and these 3 people, one after another, shows up. And they're like the farthest thing from me. They're heterosexual men.
Yeah, I love that.
And one of them has ex-wives. Their story to tell, but it's very different from me. And I've also been letting my guard down. I'm just trying to trust, have faith in the universe, the way I operate, by just being completely honest to myself. Like when these men ask me to sponsor them, I'm like, okay. And just try not to compare yourself to me or to other people. That's a big thing that newcomers do that pushes them away from the program. So just let's get it out of the way. I'm a gay man. I have a husband. All these things that may make us different. But the one thing that we need to focus on is our alcoholism. I'm an alcoholic. And if you identify as an alcoholic, perhaps there's something I can do to help you to stay sober one day at a time. That's all this is.
You can. I think you've done the work. I know your sponsor, your first sponsor that you did the work with. He's everything. I just want you to know I call him on a bad day.
He's a saint.
And by the time I get off the phone, all is good. I called him last night on my way home from the meeting, as a matter of fact. And he is a saint. And he speaks so smoothly. Like his voice calms me down. Like for real. And just nothing but love. But you did the work. Like you said, you did this. I'm going to do a new 4-step. It's been a while. And I have one to do. I think I have some stuff to work through, but I know it at least. I can recognize when I'm uncomfortable and when that leads to being overwhelmed. Go to a meeting. Do some service work. When you do the Sunday meeting, which is popular online, but it's the same night as Rose City Men's.
Right.
And I admired the fuck out of you for showing up to our building every Sunday night. I really do. Because not every guy would. And we need people that are steady that show up, you know?
Yeah. It's been such a the reason I do it is, this is the honest answer, is why fix something that's not broke? When I got sober in May of 2020, my first service position was October of 2020, and it was Saturday nights there at Extended Family, Saturday nights at 6 p.m. in the danky little basement underneath. And I would show up in the middle of the pandemic. Nobody was showing up in person. I was opening the door. Every now and then we'd get some people in off the street and stuff, or some real genuine people from the program would show up every now and then, but it was mostly just Zoom. And it's exactly what I'm doing now. It's like I'm still opening up the door to that little church, and maybe I get a few people, and it's just, I don't know, it's consistent, and it's what I've been doing. Because I've bounced between Saturday and Sunday, mostly Sunday now, but it just feels like something I've been doing since the very beginning. And I take a couple months as a break, and then I start it over again.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And it's like I'm staying sober, and I'm continuing to do the work, and I'm just continuing to do things that I hadn't done before.
No, I love it. I really do.
For me, it was the epiphany of this realization, like I don't have a differentiation between all. I used to have all the silos. I say that all the time, but it's like my life is the program, and the program's my life. There's no distinction in it. I don't know how that just happened, but this is the first year that, like you were talking about, getting out there and doing more social things. This is the first time since I was drinking that I went to the Pride Parade, because when I got sober 9 years ago, I did not feel comfortable. I remember in my early days of sobriety, we were going to go to this party, and it was one that we'd gone to before when I was drinking, and we had to turn around. I was getting an ulcer just thinking about going there.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no, I can do these things. And I've got such a good program in place, and I've got my people that go with me or invite me to go with them. You don't feel alone. You don't feel, and even if you do feel like I'm nervous about this, they got your back. They're there with you. And it's so different.
You went to Pride in Canada?
I did, yeah.
I went to my first Pride this year, too.
Oh,
I was always
that's
scared.
your first Pride?
Yeah. It sounds really stupid, but I've never run into one of my exes, right? And there's only 2 that are female. And one of them is big on Pride and a bartender.
Okay, that makes sense.
And with Rogue, right? And the last thing I wanted to do was run into this person. So I never went to Pride because I figured if there was any place I was going to run into him, because we didn't frequent the same places or hang
Right.
out with the same people. Yeah. So they moved to Utah. So I knew
Okay, so that officially
I knew they
gave
weren't
you
going to be at
permission.
Pride. And we got to go in. My company had a van, and we got to go in the van
Yeah, it was really
and
cool.
wave to people.
Oh, I didn't see you.
It was so cool. It was really
The kids
cool.
were the best. Oh my gosh. They would look you'd catch their eye and they just they're looking at me. They're waving at me. They just get so excited.
That's so cute.
They'd send us
Awesome.
hearts.
Yeah.
They would blow us kisses.
Oh, you would have loved the Canadian one. It was
Really?
Yes, it was just so heartwarming.
That was
It's-
BC or okay.
Vancouver, BC, and it was like such a gathering of people there to celebrate love and unity and community, and it was just a
love that.
really good mixture. Because like when I was a kid, it's a long story, but being a gay man from 1999 till now has just been this evolution of self-discovery, especially these last 10 years. It's been like a fast track of learning how to unlearn things that I learned along the way. Because, yeah, like I said, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but the gay pride that I remember being introduced to when I was young was like really hardcore. And it was like meant to emulate San Francisco as much as possible, like
I
Dory
did
Alley.
see somebody in
leather.
a harness. I just want you to
Just one person?
I was
I mean, that's still always
I
going
was
to be a
with
part
my
of it. But
so we didn't see like that during the parade, right? So
you didn't see the furries?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God,
So-
they were everywhere. We were
so
shocked how many there were.
hot, I
too.
saw, and maybe it was my choice. Okay, it was a rosy world,
Right.
But I saw parents, straight and gay, bringing their kids, creating a non-biased atmosphere for them, and I loved it. Right?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God, kudos to these parents, right, for creating these amazing children. And that's what I saw, to be honest with you. We were right in the beginning of the parade. So it wasn't until we went to the booths after that I really got to see any of that. And my sponsor said, don't look to the left.
A lot of butts. A lot of bare butts.
Let's be honest. There was more ass than I ever wanted to see. And it wasn't attractive ass, Ben.
No, I know. I was there. I saw.
It was like my ass looked good compared to these asses. And it was like my boobs at my age are flawless compared to some of the boobs
Yeah,
I've seen.
I mean-
yeah, it was a lot. I would just want you to know the harness thing of all for me. I wouldn't be anybody's slave. You're not telling me what to do. I'm just saying. So that one was a little hard for
Or when
me.
you see the ones with the
The pup masks.
yeah, and you're like, how can you do that in this heat?
Yeah,
In the
that's
sun?
ridiculous. And then the guys that are into plastic.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you seen those? They put plastic inflatable outfits on. And kind of like the Portland Frogs, but think of it in a kinky way.
Yeah, no, it was an experience. It was a good one. It was really nice to see how invested my company was
Yeah.
in the LGBTQ community. That meant everything to me. It was really nice. The people from my company that showed up, like that was like,
And they had canopies everywhere. It was really cool.
yeah, it was amazing, to be honest with you. And my sponsor had never gone to the Portland Pride either. And we got to go in a van that was air conditioned, and it was just us. It was my people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And shout out to Ariana, the driver.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going with the same crew of people the past couple years. It's been really nice. It's mostly the Sunday meditation group that I go with.
I love
That's
that meeting.
cool. That's
yeah,
really cool.
it's a really good group of people.
I told you.
Shout
Mary.
out to Sean. He started that meeting.
He's so funny.
Yeah,
I
he is
love
funny.
him. The first meeting I ever went to there, right? I'm nervous because I don't think I can sit still for 20 minutes. Not about the meeting, just that I don't think I can sit
Yeah.
still. And I get there, and it's every dude I've known for my life, right? And I'm like, oh my God, this is just like
Hanging out.
my guys, right?
Yeah.
And again, I'm the only girl, right? And I'm like, that's the norm. And I could sit there for 20 minutes And I was so proud of myself. And then the next time I went, I actually relaxed a little bit. And then the third time I went, I was like, chill. And Sean was like, we are going to have a sausage potluck.
Yeah.
And I was dying, and I made breakfast casserole for the Weenie Fest. But
The
it
sausage
was,
fest.
yes. And I was dying, and I was like, am I going to do this? And I was like, yes, I am. So it was
And
everything.
now you've got Chianti.
And the new one is
Yes.
happening very soon. I think it's right around the corner.
The sausage
Yeah,
fest?
they're having their annual sausage fest very soon.
Oh, it's annual now.
Yeah, I think it was biannual at one point. It was happening twice a
I
year.
love it. Yeah.
Christmas sausage.
It was good food too.
Yeah.
I took a plate home. It was some good food, and they loved my breakfast casserole. So it was amazing. Yeah, it was really good. Shout out to the meditation meeting. We just wanted to get you back on to re-release your podcast because it was so popular. We want people, there's so many more listeners now, to get a chance to listen to it. And I personally have seen you grow so much since you did the podcast, and you were pretty dang cool back then.
Well, it's about time I grew up a little bit.
Can I tell you?
thank
But
you.
now you're helping others grow even more.
I hope so.
Oh, I know
That's what
so.
I want to do. It really has been a journey. I can't look back on the last 6 years without this sense of, yeah, it has been a matter of facing challenges and weathering the storm. It's not easy staying sober. Absolutely not. No one's really going to tell you that it is. But I think the misconception when you first get here as a newcomer and you see all these happy people, that's not me. I could never be this happy. I could never be this carefree and relaxed about life. No, life is hard. Life is this. Life is that. Because you're still caught up in all the chaos. So it's just so hard to believe that one day perhaps you yourself could be just like those people, laughing and enjoying their lives in the rooms. And that was me for such a long time. And I don't want this feeling to end. And I know life is going to change. This is all about change. My last sponsor, who you mentioned earlier, he taught me that a lot. He'd always remind me, nothing is permanent, sweetie. That's not life. Everything is temporary.
You sound so like him when you say it.
Nothing is meant to be permanent. We have to embrace change, because it's like this idea of wanting to hold on to something and never allow it to change is what will drive us back to crazy or to alcohol. Our faces are going to change. Our bodies are going to change. Our hairlines are going to change. Like,
Not mine. Not
as
saying.
gay men.
No, yeah, no.
gay men in their 40s.
You have great
happens.
hair. Okay.
Thank you.
No.
For the camera that's not here.
Yeah. Yeah, for the
But,
camera that's not here.
Yeah, so it's been a journey, and I really feel this sense of accomplishment where I'm just proud of the things that I've done, and I'm ready to just try to help other people because, like I said, if I can do it, I think anybody can do it. It's really, for me, the secret was just learning how to sit with my uncomfortable emotions, not react to them externally. It's okay on the inside to have this reaction of, I don't like this, or I don't want to do this, or this, or that. But just because I have the thought doesn't mean I actually have to do anything. I can just sit with it.
Yeah.
And then allow time to pass. Or take some action. Go to a meeting, talk to a sponsor. But I don't need to directly respond to my emotion by doing something as a negative reaction to that emotion.
I think sometimes we intuitively know what to do, right? And I think when I don't, and that's been a couple times lately, what I do, and I highly recommend it, is I don't do anything until it comes to me,
Right.
until I know what to do. I don't make a decision. And it will. If I pray enough and I work it out, it'll come to me. We just were talking, I got a roommate, right? And at first I had somebody come over that thought about being my roommate. And I was like, I don't think this is the right fit for me. And then I wasn't looking for a roommate. And my daughter sent me a message and she said, looking for a roommate. If you can't live with this person, you can't live with anyone. And this person had worked for me for 16 years and I knew them and felt very comfortable with, and they treat my dog better than I do, which is hard. And isn't that what anyone wants? I mean,
Right, exactly.
So,
Dog
You don't know and if you don't know, don't make a rash decision. And that's what I've learned. I used to either just cuss you out or make that emotional reaction. And I have to tell you, it's taken me a while to get
hard.
there.
It is hard.
Not to just
yeah.
lash out.
Especially like in emails and stuff and text messages, like in my line of work. That is something I've definitely
I'll write
tried
the
to
email
learn.
and then I exit out at the end of the day. That's what I used to do.
I don't even allow myself to do that. It becomes too dangerously close to pressing send. I will not.
Or if you accidentally did and you're like, shit.
That can happen. Oh my God. I don't know why that's happened, but that has happened a few
You
times.
hit the wrong keyboard.
Yeah, it's like
shortcut with
control
and-
something.
Yeah, that all of a sudden you're like, what?
And thankfully, it only did that when I was halfway done with the email, so that I could just wrap it up on the next one and be like, "Oh, that was this is the continuation of that." But thank God, it wasn't anything different than that.
I actually, not saying anything bad, but responded to the whole group instead of just the person I was going to.
Oh,
I learned
yeah.
how to recall a message wicked quick, and luckily I
yeah.
was
I've
at
done that with
work.
text too.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You get on
Heart-pounding.
a text with someone and then you're
Or-
talking to many people and then you go back to the other one you thought and it's the
Yeah.
other person and you're like, oh shit, I'm
Or
sorry.
like the people that do that in the meeting chats, the group chats. Have you seen that?
I've done that.
Well, they're just like, "What is that idiot thinking?" Or they say something like that. It's like, "Girl,
You're alive.
Funny story. 2 people out of town, and we'd gotten the shirts, right? And I was like, do you want me to send you a shirt? Or do you want a shirt? And it went to everyone and not the 2 people out of town.
no."
And I was like, oh, because then some random person
Sorry.
said I would love to get a shirt. And so I cleaned it up and I was like, I was just talking to the 2 guys that couldn't get one here in Portland. And it was really, I was talking to Joe and Paul O, who've both done the show, right?
Right.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap, backpedaling. People I didn't know wanted a shirt. And I was like, so yeah.
We would have been broke just in shirts.
We didn't even have that many shirts, so yeah.
You
no.
should have, call now, 9th caller.
Yeah, exactly. Too funny. Oh my God, too funny.
You guys should, that would be so funny if you guys had a call-in number live.
We do
for on
have
the
a
show. Oh, you
call-in.
do? You take calls?
We don't take calls, but we have a number.
First time, long time listener, first time caller.
That would be fun for an episode.
Yeah.
The only thing is we edit because you have to worry about that one-off or what they'll say. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
doing it live is a little bit risky because
We could
people
record
get
it, though.
comfortable and then
Oh,
they
yeah.
start saying people's names or talking about places that they live that might. So yeah, I'm lucky enough that I've been able to catch most of those and edit
Right,
them
right,
out
right.
before because we don't want to do that. We don't want to ruin
Yeah.
anybody's lives that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a fun idea. I would love
Yeah.
to take calls. Hello, you've reached the podcast. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be fun.
What's
you
on
take
your
calls all
mind?
day. You want to take more calls, Julie?
I think those calls would be fun, though.
They
A little
would be fun. I
interesting.
love
yeah,
them.
they would be.
I
yeah.
would. I'd love that.
Yeah.
And versus camera, I'm sitting in front of the TV last night and it's me and John. And when there's just 2 people, your head's about as big as the wall on the big TV. And I love it as people show up,
Minimize.
you shrink.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I always in that one seat, I'm like, I can't wait until I block out the view. Are they looking? And it's so funny because when I'm on the other end of Zoom, I'm never looking at the secretary. I'm not. I'm paying attention usually to what's going on. So I try to listen, like Barry says emphatically, with empathy. So otherwise, why go to the meeting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely not to get a man. I'm just saying at all.
Ditto. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not why I go to the
No,
meeting either.
I've known your husband longer than you have.
Have you?
I've known your
yeah.
husband since MCC.
Yeah, I've known him. That's where we met. He and I.
Yeah, but I
You think you
how-
knew him before?
I think so because we had
Okay.
that conversation when you all showed up at True Colors one night.
Yeah.
Okay. That
And
would
You
make
mentioned
sense.
it
Yeah.
the last podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I've known him for a super long time.
Yeah, he's amazing. He
Yes.
really is. He's an amazing person. He wants to do the show, so if you
I know.
should ask
And
him.
you know
sweet.
what? He can. absolutely.
Okay. I'll
I'm
tell him to
saying it out
contact
loud,
you.
Matt. Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
100%.
Because he's got an amazing, he's somebody who really has, as long as I've known him, has always taken the principles of this program very seriously. And just from the very beginning, as long as I've known him, has been like always aware of the fact that it's life or death for him. He stays sober because he wants to live.
He's another calm person, too.
He's very calm. Yeah, that's why it works out with us.
Look, I understand because I'm
I
more
need a
like
calm
you.
person.
And I'm going to tell you, when I tell you my roommates mellow, like they are beyond mellow. Okay.
They compliment you.
They do.
very
like
much.
extremely. And I knew that going in. Like I said, they worked for me for 17 years. And yeah, so I knew that going in. And that's a blessing because I know if I ever get married, that person is going to have to be like so low key. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It'd be hard, I would think, because you've been independent so long.
It is.
And
Yeah, that would be a challenge.
It is a challenge. It is a challenge asking for help. And it's almost a character defect. They say independence is, and I've learned this, and it's almost a form of arrogance because you want to do it by yourself. And I don't mean that in a stuck-up way because I'm not arrogant, but it's something. I'm an only child.
Oh, there you go. That probably has a lot to do with
and
it.
when you said, are you not lonely? I am never lonely. I have so many things that in a day that I wasn't lonely during COVID. I thought it was kind of cool. Parts of it. I talked to my sponsor and every day and I did
dookie.
It was just a normal day, I guess.
I did projects. I worked from home during
Prior to that?
No, during COVID was the first time I worked from home.
Okay.
But for 95% of COVID, I was working. It wasn't until the tail end, and I went to that meeting in the basement too, wearing masks.
I had to work too, but I had to go
I was
to work.
really lucky. I had
I
a
was one
job,
of those
too.
special people that was allowed because I worked at the hospital in the ORs. I didn't get any time off. Justin got to sit home for 6 months and chill out. And
Yeah, Sprint, they paid us, I forget, I think it was like a $5 million bonus because we moved. We luckily had a work from home program, but you had to be really good to be able to work from home. We had 50 people that did it, and we went from 50 to 100 in 9 days. And we were the quickest call center to do that, so their business wasn't interrupted.
Wow, that's cool.
So they gave us a fat bonus. It wasn't until they merged with T-Mobile, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I worked the whole time. It was great. It was really lucky.
Yeah. It was a little bit, it was catch-22 kind of because when you're at the hospital, you're in it. You're getting the patients that are affected by COVID and stuff. And
That would be
you got to
scary.
see it from that side of it. So, and then people trying to visit and they can't, they have to stay behind the curtain thing, the plastic and,
And I think then just not knowing
it was, yeah.
is hard. And I think we know so much now. I think it's just like when AIDS came out, you know. When we didn't know, now we know. It's like things you don't know are scary. And I think it's like the program as well. What you don't know yet can be scary. And once you know.
Yeah. I think living life as a sober person was really scary for me for such a long time.
Me too.
Me too.
And that was why I was like this scared, frightened animal ready to bite anyone's hand. Like, don't understand. I need this thing to survive, and you're trying to take it away from me. That was like my big problem with staying sober.
I was more
I felt
scared
like
of
something
going
that
back
was
to
precious
prison.
was being taken away from me.
To be honest with you, I was more scared of going back to prison and losing my freedom.
I was scared that by admitting it, that then I couldn't do it. And I wanted, my mindset was I needed it to do
Right,
it. Like,
yeah.
it was like this cycle with me. And how am I going to, everything I did, going out, going to visit people, it was always, I had to have the pre-function to get comfortable enough to go. It was so ingrained in my, and I'd walk into a dinner and everybody would be sitting around and I'd how many glasses of wine are on the table? Who's drinking red? Who's drinking white? Because I know if more people are drinking red, then I'll take the white because there'll be more white for me. You know what I mean? This mindset that was just so insane.
It is.
I was so scared and I was so terrified of being in the world in my own skin. I didn't know how to do it because I had not done it and from such a young age.
I had to be high to work in the escort service. I never did drugs with anyone, but before I went on a call,
I just felt like I had to be high to be me. I had to be drunk and high to be me. That was my introduction to being a homosexual in the 1990s. Was like, this is what gay men do. They drink. They drink cocktails.
Exactly.
They have fun.
have
You
to
got to
tell
make.
you.
Because it was like, it's such a sign of the times, like, because the gay men that I was meeting were survivors of something horrible and atrocious, and they had seen so many people die that the ones that had managed to survive, they did have a set of rules that they lived by, that they did teach me, like always use a condom, never trust anybody when they tell you their status, those sorts of things they ingrained in me. But they always said, but we've got to have fun. We've got to have our cocktail and our little baggies.
Yeah, you say at the tail end of that part, my year that I was a mess the most was 1986, right in the middle of all that. But I was lucky too. I had people tell me, don't do this without this and don't do that. And
Thank God for those people.
those rules. Yeah. I'm very lucky. I know. And I think me being like a schizophrenic germaphobe kind of worked in my favor.
Yeah.
So, amen. Yeah.
I'm the opposite. If no one's looking and it falls on the floor, I'll still eat it.
I love it.
5-second roll or whatever.
No,
I'm like, you have
second
no
roll.
idea the things I used to put in my mouth. So this is really not that bad. It's just kind of an upgrade.
In my
I
house,
used to drink vodka off the floor. If I spilled by accident, or off the counter, I accidentally knock it over, I'd be like,
Oh yeah.
the 3
Or just
second
other
rule.
substances.
You're right.
That's funny because the 3 second rule in my house is don't let Duke get to
Yeah.
it. You know, I'm just saying. He'll be like, that's mine.
Oh yeah. No, it's terrifying, and also because of the city we live in, walking Paco, we've walked past stuff, and I'm like, get away from that stuff people spill out of their pockets.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There's a section of my HOA that's amazing. And then there's the section of opportunities that's on the outside. And I don't walk my dog there because I just don't know. So I keep him in the pretty part. Since you're back here, one last thing. I just want to ask you if there's anything you want to say to the listeners, because you've had 2 more years under your belt. I can't believe you are episode number 7. That's my favorite number, too.
That's crazy. Yeah, and that is a lucky number. Don't give up on yourself. That's all I want to say. Give yourself a chance. That's something that I didn't do for such a long time. And every time when things got really challenging, especially when I was in my first couple of years of sobriety, and then all the way up to number 5, it was this, whenever it would get so uncomfortable for me, I would just remind myself it was a God shot. It was something. It was the spiritual connection that I had. I thought and this idea that would spring to mind was, the one thing you've never done is you've never just allowed yourself to sit with these uncomfortable emotions and not do anything. You've never given yourself a chance. You've always hit the nuclear button and said, "No, I can't do this. F it and run." But this time, just sit. Just sit and don't do anything. Don't give up on yourself.
I love
And it's
that.
just been amazing because
yeah.
right around the corner from all of that, the fever pitch of me sitting through some of the most uncomfortable emotions and the fever of wanting to relapse, breaking, and finally just transforming through that process, what's happened in the last year is I have had so many promises come true to me. What I've been describing this entire time, or at least I've been hoping to, is a new freedom and a new happiness. And fear of things is beginning to disappear for me, and I will have a new outlook upon life. And that new outlook is understanding that alcohol and drugs are just a symptom of something else. And that's what I mean when I say I don't even want it when I'm challenged by life, because I have this new 4th dimension understanding of, no, that's a solution that doesn't even work anymore.
Yeah.
That's not going to get rid of the thing that scares me. Prayer. That's something that if I go to, I do begin to change from the inside out.
And I think
one
it's
day at
a
a time.
positive thing that
Yes.
you manifest. I don't think you
Yeah.
have to pray to. People
Nothing.
say I'm not
Exactly.
about God. You don't have to pray to God. Honestly, it's almost like making an affirmation.
Stop
It's-
defining God.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, I don't pray to God. I don't necessarily hold those types of beliefs, but I believe in nature. I do my meditations. That's my spirituality. My meditations are very similar to what you're saying, how you pray. It's the same type of thing. Looking inward, setting those goals internally. This is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. How can it help me through this? Yeah. And it works. It really does work.
Yeah, and letting go of my preconceived notions about what spirituality is, because it's like,
Boom.
I'm not trying to ask and I shall receive kind of transactional relationship with God. No, it's about what are my intentions? My intentions are I'm opening myself up to the possibility that something is receiving my energy and will reward me through having this appreciation of the life that I have today.
In the beginning, I don't know who said it to me, but they said, you don't pray for material possessions and stuff like that, right? And I will tell you, the number one thing I pray for is courage.
Yes.
I pray for
Me too.
courage all the time. Courage to handle this right. Courage to stay on this path, right? I pray for courage to handle it with grace. Like, it's the number one thing I pray for. And I'll pray for, when I first came in the program, I could not pray for somebody I had a resentment for. My sponsor told me to do it, and I told him no. I said, I'm not praying for that bitch no matter what. And no.
May they rot in their grave.
Look, it was funny because they had blown up my pager, and I still had a 1-800 pager when I got it, because I had paid for it for a couple
1-800 pager.
for real, to the escort service number. And this person kept calling and leaving messages because it had a voicemail with it. And I said to him, I don't need this pager anymore. I'm going to have to give you this pager. And he said, really? And I said, yeah. And I said, I'm not praying for this bitch no matter what you say, no matter what Todd says in the meeting, who had 40 years sober then. And he was like, okay. And he's, can I listen to the messages? I was like, here's the code. So I gave him the pager, and he said the next day, I listen to the messages. You don't have to pray for her. All I'm going to ask is that you never talk to this person again. And I was like, this is before cell phones, really. And so I blocked him from my home phone number. And the point behind that is I can pray for somebody I don't like now. I can pray for them to hopefully get what I have. I can pray for them even if they've done me wrong, right? I'll just think, hey, it's time for me to take the high road. You know better. And that's huge progress for me. It's just like I don't have to cuss you out, even if I want to. I won't say that obsession has been removed. But that is huge progress for me from the little ghetto girl that always sticks up for herself because I had to. It takes a lot, but I think that you can do it. And I think if you pray for selfish things, it's selfish. You know what I'm saying? I think praying for peace, but material possessions will come with hard work.
Yeah, exactly. Just the courage to show up and get through the things I need to get done today. That's all I really ask most of the time.
Same.
Because it is the daily reprieve for me very much. Yes, I'm making progress, but just like alcoholism, at my core, I am certain things. There are certain things. Alcohol is a symptom of something really deep inside me. And for me, that's fear. That's fear of the world.
Same.
It's fear of death. It's fear of all those things that as a kid, I'd hear grown-ups talk about, and I'd immediately like,
Same.
and I felt that way until somebody passed me a joint or handed me a bottle of fuzzy navel. What was that? Boone's Farm.
Boone's Farm,
my
yeah.
God.
That might be the only wine
And I
I've
had that
ever drank.
spiritual release when I was 13, and suddenly the world was less scary, and I never wanted it to end.
And I felt like it gave me courage. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Fear is my number
Confidence and
one
courage.
character defect. And if you live in faith, you can avoid the fear. It's hard to
Trust.
get there. Yeah, it's hard
Learning
to
how
get
to
there,
trust.
but it'll come. I promise. It's like I told that girl last night. I was like, I promise, if you just keep coming back, the questions you have today won't be the questions you have later on. They'll be different.
And I guess it's like, I haven't learned how to explain this yet without it. It's like a Rubik's Cube, because the don't give up on yourself, learning how to sit through the uncomfortable emotions also is dependent on your ability to just trust that if I go to bed sober tonight, one day at a time, it's going to slowly start to get better. And I didn't believe that for such a long time, but my sponsor just constantly would just implore me, just give it another shot. Just go to bed and tomorrow start over again and just try.
I think the worst day you can have sober is better than using.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you
I
can,
thought you were going to say the other saying that I
No.
don't always agree, where they're
Yeah.
like, your best day, your
No.
worst day sober is still better than your best day drunk. And I'm like,
I had some good.
I don't know.
I agree with you. I had some good times too.
I had a lot of good times.
Yeah, but then it turns
They were a long
towards
time
not.
ago, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
a long time ago.
No, I agree with you. And the courage. I
Yeah,
love
there's
that.
nothing that a drink is going to make better. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Absolutely not. Even if I'm like, and I don't like talking because I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. But even if I found myself in a situation that was really scary, like a diagnosis of some kind, like my feelings before were always that I would just absolutely F it and run. Like, but today I realize, like, it's that fourth dimensional thing of, and give up? No. Why would I do that? I have so much that I've been given and shown just by trusting, and maybe that's just something I can now accomplish, and I never thought that was possible. Yeah. And I haven't walked to that fire, but I'm just saying, like, that's progress for
When
me.
you sponsored the first one you were talking about, I've seen that person go through everything
Yes.
and have so much effing grace
I know.
that I feel like I
amazing.
never have the right to complain about anything.
Has he done an episode?
So we talked about it. I visit him about once a month. I go over there. And I was trying to go yesterday on my way to the meeting. And I was making us, because we're both diabetic, and I was making us a zucchini pizza. And I spent 2 hours on this pizza. And I called him on the way back from the meeting, and I was like, let me tell you about this piece of cardboard I made for us. I was like, I couldn't even show up at your house with it. And he was dying. He was like, thank you for not, because I usually bring him really good food. Cauliflower mac and cheese.
That's what you should have brought him.
That's what I
That's
brought
damn
him.
good.
I brought him. So that's what I usually bring him, is like cauliflower mac and cheese or something magnificent that I make.
Yeah.
And I was like, this pizza is, and I worked so hard on this pizza. And my friend came over and I saved it to show him. And it was like cardboard. It was horrible. But no, I'm going to make him something fabulous and go by next week.
Nice.
So I love to cook for him. So he appreciates it. And bring him some sugar-free ice cream.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for stopping by on a Monday night, just
Yeah,
coming back
for having
into
me.
town.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Totally.
Totally
Yeah.
I love
appreciate
being
it.
here. I could keep talking, but I won't.
Well, we were going to talk about your episode, and then I was like, let's just get Ben. And that's when I reached out.
Yeah. Aw. Thank
love
you for
it.
doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're-
it's amazing. I can't even believe it's been over 2 years.
And you're so much, what I see is more relaxed and more confident. That's what I get.
And
from
number
what I
7.
remember from 2 years ago.
I want to
Yeah,
get these
for
shirts
sure.
that have your people's episodes on the sleeve, because there's some that I remember, like Skylar's. He's either 22 or 30 something, but there's some that I just remember because it's crazy. But now I'll always know number 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know. It's like the sharp, jagged edges get softened over time. Our personalities are so like fritzed when we first get sober. It just takes time.
I love it.
So
Thank you. This is Julie with the Real Recovery
Thank you,
Podcast.
Ben. This is Peter. Thanks for listening.
Ben Alcoholic, goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks to each and every one of you for lending us your ears and hearts. Your engagement is what fuels our passion and keeps this podcast thriving.
We cherish the moments we share here and hope they resonate with you, whether you're on a daily commute, at the gym, or just taking a moment for yourself.
Make sure to head over to our website at realrecoverypodcast.com. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter for the latest insights and uplifting stories from our community delivered straight to your inbox.
Click that subscribe button on your favorite podcast player too, so you can keep up with every new episode. It's your support that keeps our conversation alive and meaningful.
And if our stories have touched you, consider using the donate button on our site. Your contributions, no matter the size, are deeply appreciated. They help us continue our mission of sharing hope and healing.
Join us beyond the podcast and follow our journey on social media. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and on X, formerly known as Twitter. All the links are on our site, so you can stay connected and be a part of the Real Recovery community every day.
Your likes, shares, and comments not only spread the message of recovery, but also remind us that we're all in this together.
So, until we meet again, remember that recovery is a journey, not a destination, and we'll be here to accompany you every step of the way to recovery, real recovery.
Thanks for listening.